Hey guys, it's Alex. Been getting asked a number of times, particularly when I do product reviews, you know, what sort of picks someone should buy, and you know, what manufacturer, what types, should you get a kit, should you whatever, and you know, I've bought, well, let me just pan over briefly. This is a pile of lock picks from cleaning up the table a little bit. That's probably, you know, more than 50% of the ones I own. But you know, you tend to accumulate them over time, and I've got a pile that's probably half that size of broken picks, so that happens too. But these are the picks that I find that I use, or the sorts of picks that I use the most. Starting with actually these two. This one happens to be broken. This is my go-to pick. It's an HPC short hook. I put the little end of it there, and my little Uber pick is modeled after that, and the Peterson small diamond. But so a close approximation of that is this this Southord Max short hook. But those are two that I would go to pretty much at this from the start, with a lot of locks. Let's get that focused there. They just seem to do a good job. Along with that, I like a large diamond. You know, a lot of people don't use diamonds, but I find they're great, particularly for, you know, doing a little light raking into a false set. And I just recently got this one, which is these are both Southord. This is the thinner version of this larger one here. And then you got to have a Peterson gem. Great when you need to get in under something and you've got lots of room in the keyway. I like to have a couple of thin picks. I think these are about 020, but pretty thin. The Peterson thin ones are just, I don't know, for my style, they're a little too thin. I tend to just bend them. But I've got a whole bunch of these sort of things. These are also Southord. These are like their cheapest ones they make. They're like $2 or $3 each. I did a review of them, and I use those a lot. I just sort of bought two of each of the shapes that I liked, and they're great for getting into little Euro locks. And then you got to have at least one Bogota in your collection, and this is the from the Southord Pagoda set. But I had, up until recently, I had the Sparrows Bogota from the Wizwazzle set, and that did just fine until I broke it, predictably. So, I mean, these are the picks I use. Now, you can get, I guess, all but the Bogota, you probably could get close approximations from Peterson or Southord, or Sparrows for that matter, if you like them. I tend to like the hard plastic handles or the metal handles. The only thing I don't like about these is the handles it doesn't really have a handle. So you can see on this one, like I put some packing tape around it just to protect my fingers. But those are the ones I go to, and I would say for a beginner, a couple of hooks, a couple of diamonds, you know, maybe a gem, something like that, and a Bogota. If you're going to get anything that is like a rake, a Bogota, you should be good to go for most locks you're going to encounter as a beginner or even intermediate level. So the Uber pick would actually do you pretty well. Then the other thing that you absolutely must have is tension tools, and I actually think that the tensor is more important than the pick in many cases. I am a huge fan, as you probably have seen in my videos, of the Peterson pry bar style, and I guess there's a couple other people that are making copies of these now. I think these two are the thin and the original pry bar, and then this is from a set of 5 that Peterson also makes that are like the serrated flat type. I have all of these. I can never find all of them, but this is just another one, and it's a little bit thinner. So having different thicknesses is good. And then, you know, an assortment of the sort of standard wiper blade insert type ones. And here I've got an example of one that's a little thicker, one that's a little thinner. And on this one I actually bent a little end on it so you can kind of use it for top of the keyway if you need to. You know, for bottom of the keyway. These ones are nice. These Peterson, pry bar lookalikes are nice because this longer end is good for getting in if you've got a padlock with a bezel around it or something, or if you just want to get deeper into the bottom of the keyway. That's kind of nice. But I would never want to have just these tension devices with me. I have a box which is doesn't probably even have all of its stuff in it right now, but this is my box of tension device or tensors. This was originally populated substantially with it's like a 17 or 20 piece kit from Sparrows. The one and only major kit that I ever bought was the Whizwazzle kit, and one of the things that it came with a bunch of picks, which I've broken most of, as I break everything, but it came with just a tremendous number of tension tools, and I had no idea why. A lot of them were the same, and it's like there's short ones and long ones and fat ones and skinny ones. I've used every single one of them, I think. I've also made some of my own. I did a video on this one, which is for American locks. This is one of the pry bar that I made myself out of a old Sawzall blade. I've never found any use for this particular one, but I don't know, maybe for some car lock or something. But I can't tell you how many times I've been working on a lock and having trouble and just gone tensor, 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 tensor until I finally found one that worked for me. So, you know, I would rather have a lot of tensors and a much more restricted selection of picks than the other way around. Because remember, the tensor is what actually opens the lock. The pick just fiddles with the pins, right? But this is what actually turns the lock and gives you your feedback as you're picking the lock. And it can make a world of difference. So that would be my advice. I would get a couple of, you know, a selection of picks. I would probably buy them a la carte, as it were. I find that the sets tend to have a lot of useless rakes and things that you never end up using. I would get the Peterson pry bars specifically, and then a selection as many as you can stand of different tension devices, and you can't go wrong. And then as you work, as you pick and get experienced, you'll decide sort of which ones you like better, whether you like thicker, thinner, or you know, diamonds or curves or whatever. But you know, I think this is kind of the indispensable kit for me, and I think it would be a good starting deal. And if you get the non-fancy plastic handle versions of these and the carbon steel versions of Petersons, you probably could get most of this lot for less than $100, the price of one of the larger kits probably. Not as many items, but I think far more versatile and less confusing. So anyway, that's my take on it. I'm not endorsing any particular brands here, although these are actually all South Order Peterson. But I've had, you know, good picks from other folks. The Peterson pry bars, though, are definitely the best. So there you go. Yeah, so let me know if you have any questions. Show you, maybe I'll do another video with some of my other kit, but this is sort of the core foundation that I would want to see, at least in my own toolbox. So thanks for watching, have fun, and as always, please keep it legal. Cheers.